That's how it was perceived. Let's go over there and we'll go back to Sodom and Gomorrah in a minute. Chapter 11 in Genesis 11. Okay, and beginning with the first verse. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. Everybody and all of the earth was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, as they moved from the east. Now, what this is saying is that the population of the world began in the east. It began in a particular region of the world. Okay? Man was populated in a certain region of the world. And as they journeyed from that area, they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. They found a comfortable place, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, "Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly." And when you make brick and burn them thoroughly, that makes them what? Stronger. It won't crumble on you, because they've been burned to where the hardness is there. Amen. To where they won't break up and crumble into pieces. For stone, and they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, "Go to, let us build us a city. Let us build us a city and a tower." See, a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. Now listen to that closely. Listen to that closely now. Whose top may reach unto heaven. What does that support?
Supports what you just...
Support what I just said.
Yeah.
It don't say whose top will reach into heaven,
Right.
or whose top shall reach into heaven, but whose top may reach into heaven. Even at their own words, God made them use a permissible term. May is permissible.
Right.
It's not for granted. Whose top may reach into heaven. And even and that is true today. Even all of the perverse things that man is doing today in government, and all of the things that man is doing today that is wrong, he knows it's wrong.
Amen.
He knows it's wrong.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
And these people knew it was wrong. And that's why they knew that they couldn't build a tower that would reach into heaven. It had to be permissible. It had to be still God's will. And the same is today. God's will still exists today. And God's will is that nobody should perish, but that all should come to repentance. That is God's will. And whenever we are engaged in all of the atrocities that mankind finds himself in today, and all of the troubles that he's causing throughout the earth, it is still because God is letting him.
Amen.
It is still on a permissible condition. Because only by God allowing it to be could it be. So he said, whose top may reach unto heaven. Let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Okay? And why is that important? Let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth. Why is that important? How is a name going to keep them from being scattered all over the earth? Huh? How is a name? They're going to make them a name that will prevent them from being scattered abroad up on the face of the whole earth.
Because usually that would give them a specific place to be if they...
All right. In Hebrew, you are what?
What your name is.
Whatever your name is, that's what you are. So the name that they would make would be a Hebrew name that would show permanent cohesion, permanent togetherness, that would show one. And that's what they would be. See, the name would make them what they would be to prevent them from being scattered. Because in Hebrew, whatever your name is, that is what you are. It would make them a uniform group. It would make them a uniform group. And all that is saying there is this, that everybody is going to subscribe to the same thing, just like the world is doing today. Everybody wants to be like one another. Everybody wants to be just alike in the world today, even in the church.
Amen.
The true church wants to be like the wrong church.
Yes.
Huh?
Amen.
The true church wants to be like all of these other false churches.
Yes, yes,
Huh?
yes.
Because let us make us a name, lest we be scattered. If we be scattered, then there's diverseness. These people over here is doing one thing, these people over here is doing another thing. But what they wanted to do was that name would be a system that would make everybody be under one control. Today, what do we call it today? What do we call it today in the Obama administration? And that began with the Bush, with the old man Bush. In his administration, he said, there is a new what? This begins a new world order. A new world order. That's what it is saying here. Let us make us a name where we can remain one order. And that is what is taking place today. The Tower of Babel is real. The Tower of Babel is prophecy for this time, for today, with the advent of the one world government. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let us make us a name that will be one. Huh? That is what the new order, the new world order, is to establish a one world government where we won't be scattered. We won't be Americans, and we won't be Europeans, and we won't be Spanish, and we won't be Japanese.